when you say about you moving at a certain speed, right? Your face showing that. Do you know that you can condition the muscles in your face to be more callous, so it doesn't show the same level of um what's that word, rubbery, whatever, elasticity when you at high levels of speed. You do know over time that changes. You know that, right?
No, I don't know that. I haven't experienced that.
Oh, okay. You also, okay. Your body, your body. If you constantly put your body under that level of speed, there will be facial mutations that your skin will start to go through, and it's gonna change. It's gonna change to meet that level of speed. Okay. So the reason why we don't move at the speed of light is because those same scientists that you're talking about, they don't know how to move at the speed of light. So they create theologies to justify their inabilities as Europeans. So we're not even having, so if we have these conversations about teleportation, telekinesis, it's gonna sound like the smart guy is the fucking dumb guy. So when you asking me certain questions, I'm not stuttering or deflecting. I don't want to lose.
Okay, well then let's see if we can get it directly right. And let's also not assume that the audience isn't intelligent enough to understand. You said for the sake of the audience. Let's assume the audience is able to understand, and if they're not, they're able to research what we say.
Okay, so
That's what I do.
so
That's why I
okay,
teach how I
okay,
teach. Okay.
I got you. Our
What
first
do the
level,
scientists,
our
what do
first,
this,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
hold on. Our first language is telekinesis. Let's start there.
Whose? Whose first language is telekinesis?
Black people.
Okay. How do you know that?
Tell you what, man. Tell you what you need to do. If let's do a live, I'm gonna go on live, right? I'm gonna go on live, right? And I'm gonna get my books. I'm gonna get my books,
You'll
and
go get
then
prepared.
yeah,
Y'all didn't even stop
because
playing with me.
no,
You just
no,
said our
listen.
first language is telekinesis, and I asked you how you know that, and now you finna go get the library.
Because what you because everything I say you're refuting. So I don't
I just
feel
asked how do
like
you know. I didn't refute it. Okay, you know what it means to refute something, right?
if,
I didn't refute it. I just asked how do you know. You feel like that's a refute or a rebuttal? I just asked how do you know, and you didn't want to tell me. This would be
because there's
actually this would be a point of the
because
conversation where we could have moved forward. You could have gave me something to move forward
because
with. How do you know
no,
that?
no, hieroglyphics. Now that's another question, right? Go ahead. That's how I know
Okay, all
hieroglyphics.
right, yeah. We're supposed to ask questions. One thing that this community and these people and whoever else I talk to will never convince me is that asking questions is a bad thing. Which hieroglyphs did you read that show telekinesis was our first language?
Now listen, the reason why, no, I'm not saying asking questions. I'm not saying
Wait, wait,
asking
wait.
questions.
Can you answer that one? Which
Hold
hieroglyphs
on,
did you read?
hold on,
You read
hold on,
hieroglyphs?
hold on,
You read hieroglyphs?
hold on, hold on. I do. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Asking asking questions is never a bad thing. It
Uh-huh.
it is the tonality that is used while you're asking the question. Like, give example. When I first came on the live, you know what was the first thing I was talking about?
Yeah.
The first thing I was talking about on the live was how do we take the sciences that were talked about in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
right? How
Yep.
do we take the sciences that were talked about in the Bible and apply those to ourselves, right?
Yep.
Now, if we having a conversation and I can't see your face, I can't I don't have no other device in front of me. I'm speaking solely with no tools, with nothing to fully go into detail on what I'm talking about. So
Okay.
that's a different conversation. If I have my books with me, if I have my notes with me, it's almost like going into a debate, right?
Okay.
Um if you constantly ask questions, it's like, how do I know I'm a god? Well, there's things that instinctively I feel when I read certain information.
Okay.
So
That's all right. So look, man. When I'm used to scholarly conversations anyway, so that's the background I come from. So if somebody
yep.
asks a question and they ask you to substantiate your claim, they could yell it. It still doesn't matter. The point is the substantiation is still being asked of. I asked you, how do you know we spoke telekinesis as our first language, so-called black people?
So
All right.
so
Hold on,
you're
hold on,
saying
hold on.
that
I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
wait, hold on. So
And you
you saying we
said
didn't? So are
you
you saying we didn't? No.
even if I do, that'll be a whole different deflection cliff we'll jump off of. I want to deal with this one first,
Okay.
right? I said, how do you know? You said hieroglyphs or hieroglyphics. Okay.
All right. I'm not
I
gonna
said,
listen.
hold on,
Check it
hold on,
out.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
I
Let's just
said,
have a
can
debate.
you
Let's
read
hold on. Listen.
hieroglyphics?
Let's just have a debate. Hold on. Let's just have a debate, right? So for me, I don't like to speak out my ass. So if someone's asking me a question, right? If I don't know something, I'm gonna say I don't know. If I do know something, I'm gonna speak on it, right? But if I don't have my books, right? If I feel like someone is trying to make me look like an asshole or not intelligent, then I'm not gonna
No, all I did
I'm
was
not
ask the question, bro. All the
I'm
making you look
explaining
like
to you,
something, I didn't do
but
that.
I
I
never
just
said you
asked a
did.
question. And
I
you
never said
said telekinesis was our first language, and you know because you read hieroglyphics. And I asked you, can you read hieroglyphics? And you said
I said
yes.
I told you yeah, I want to have my books and my notes in front of me. So again, if I just that's like this. If I jump on the live, right, and we having a
So if I
conversation,
show you hieroglyphs right now, if I show you hieroglyphics, you're not
listen,
gonna know what
hold
this,
on, hold on,
because you know that's what I would do.
If
I
you
would
want
be
to
like,
have a
can you read
debate,
that?
if you want
No,
to, that's all, right? Like so, again, I jumped on the live, half sleep, just
come
wanted
on,
to add
dog.
some value. Say it again.
I said, come on, dog. All right, look. I'm cool with the 9 o'clock thing. I just want to address this, right?
Okay, and so just so you're prepared, I want you to be on camera like I'm on camera too as well.
Okay, that's fine.
I want you to show you. Listen, so again, if we're gonna have a discourse or a conversation or a debate about everything we talked about, we're gonna talk about the hands. We're gonna talk about G-force. We're gonna talk about escape velocity. We're gonna talk about all these things. Then yeah, I'm gonna show you the difference between
Why does
me
it have to be a
being
debate? Why you feel like when we talk about that type of stuff,
because
have dialogue, that means it must be a debate?
because I'm dealing with when I'm talking to you, you're cutting me off, or if I'm saying something, you're laughing, you're saying certain jokes. I can't.
Did you cut me off in the beginning of the conversation at all?
There's not. I did. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I didn't think it was nothing wrong with that. That's what we do when we talk. There's regular conversation. I don't feel like I'm in a debate setting.
But
If
listen,
this were a debate, you
you
would have
said
a set amount of time to speak. I would have a set
yeah.
amount of time to speak. We have moderators. There will be an affirmative or a
But we
negative.
spin it. But the energy is spinning. You asked
How?
me, is my hands faster? Listen, you asked me, is my hands faster than a bullet? Because and I said yes, right? And then if
Then
you're
I
talking
asked you
about
to
science,
substantiate the claim.
if you're talking about, hold on, if you're talking about science, right? So if you talk about science, and then I ask you, well, per my body weight, I'm not. If I weigh 190 pounds, I should not be able to lift 3 tons. But if my brother is under a burning car, I'm going to lift that weight. And then you told me and you said, well, that's science. So that doesn't apply to me being as fast as I need to be
And then
in
guess what I
regards to a
did?
bullet.
Guess what I did? Because I have the intelligence to do so, and so do you have the intelligence to comprehend whether or not you have the intelligence on that particular subject. I started to speak about physics because we were dealing with biology and human anatomy and what takes place when you
I didn't
experience.
ask you the question. Can your fist move faster than a bullet?
No.
You're absolutely wrong. So that's the first thing we're gonna. So when I get my so I'm just making points that I'm gonna have to
How
really
fast
enlighten
does a
you on.
bullet travel?
Listen, I'm just hold on. Matter of
I
fact,
answered your question. Now I want you to
hold on,
answer mine. How
hold on,
fast does a
hold on,
bullet travel?
hold on, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, that's probably why you think you get punched faster than it.
Yo.
Don't that
See,
make
look,
sense?
no. That's why I said I don't know off the top of my head. It's the same thing. Like, if we're gonna be precise, that's what I'm saying. If we having a conversation, the questions you asking me, it seems like you're asking me for precise answers. A lot of these questions I can't answer. I can't answer
And that's
without
all we
having my.
saying. That's all we saying. When we talk to the Christians about Jesus, it's the same conversation. That's all I'm saying. That's what the purpose of all of this is. I thought we were on
But
one
listen,
accord the whole time.
but listen,
That's how the
we on the
conversation
same.
go with the Christians, the Muslims, anytime we ask them
But
questions.
they don't go to the
And the
book
spiritual
though.
people.
No. For me, I'll say, let me get to my.
Bring it in.
Sweetest. The conversation is gonna
You don't
go
even need your
different.
books to answer this one. Do you know what G-force
No,
is?
no. I told you I do.
Okay, can you explain
The
G-force?
conversation. No. I'm gonna explain when I have a device and books in front of me the same way you do.
I didn't have devices and books in front of me. I told you when I got, you know what? Everybody that's on this live, I might save it just for you to go back and hear when I got up, rolled my, you can hear the computer come
No.
on. That's what's so crazy. You
Listen.
could
Check it
hear
out.
the computer come
Check it
on.
out. Check it
For
out.
90%
You
of this
so we
conversation,
clear.
I
You
had
said
no
listen.
device.
You said a hand can't travel faster than a bullet, right?
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear the computer come on?
Did you said no?
All
Listen.
right, anybody in the
I'm just
comments, did y'all hear when the computer came on?
You just said I'm just being clear. So when I everything I'm telling you, I'm gonna prove. I don't know about no ego Hibbalites. I don't know about none of that shit. If I say something, I don't have no ego. If I don't know something, I say I don't know. I
You call them
learned.
Idrio Hibbalites?
I was being funny. I
I
learn
know,
every
I
day.
ain't never heard that. That's different.
I learn every day. So let me give a disclaimer. I learn every day. I'm always studying. And when I study, I learn so much information. I write it down. I got books, I got notes, I have things in front of me. So we just having a general conversation, and you're telling me this is based on science and physics. Well, how much pressure does it take for a joint to be detached?
I don't know how much.
Exactly. Hold on.
But why do y'all think I don't know means gotcha?
No,
That's
I
probably why
don't
you
feel
didn't
that
want to
way.
say it this whole time. That
No.
would be
I don't
your
feel.
turn to tell me.
No, that'd be my turn. That we speak how we want to speak, right? You approach things how you approach it. I approach it how I approach it, right? So the amount of weight it takes to detach a joint is the amount of weight that we just discussed lifting at that body weight. So how is it that this person is lifting something that should detach their joints, but is not detaching their joints, and they're able to lift it because of the adrenaline? There has to be something.
It's because of, for one, when you lift
Hold on,
something, that's
wait,
a force asserted.
wait.
So it's not like you just, all right, go ahead.
Hold on, hold on. So what I'm saying is, there's certain things that science cannot explain, and that's one of them. When we talk about the love that a mother has for the child, the mother is able to do things that science has no account for. Okay, so when you ask me, am I fast as a bullet? What was my answer? I said I'm fast as I need to be.
That was your first answer. Then I was like, okay. I said, I'm asking, are you fast? Can you punch faster than a bullet? And you were like, yeah. I said projectile, and you were like, yeah.
Yeah. Listen. No. I said no. I didn't say yeah, nothing. Don't put words in my
Yes, you
mouth.
did.
My
It's recorded.
no, I didn't. No. I don't give a fuck if it's recorded. I know what I said. I said my first answer was I'm as fast as I
That was your
need to
first
be,
answer, right?
and you
And
kept
then we
asking
kept
me.
talking.
You kept asking me, and I said if I'm in a situation where my life is dependent on me being faster, I'm gonna be faster. So now this was the point. You could laugh. This is what I'm saying about you laughing. So if you're laughing, I'm taking the laughter as if you're in disagreement or you don't understand. So now what I'm trying to tell you is I created an actual system in terms of lifting weight for what I just said. We could call it a placebo effect. I can right now I can deadlift 900 pounds.
Okay.
Before I do a heavy lift, I visualize being in a situation that activates those spikes in adrenaline and testosterone. And then I'm able to become stronger based upon what I'm envisioning inside of my mind. And then I'm going to the gym and I'm executing. I have videos and I have documentation of what I'm talking about. So if we
Bro,
having a conversation,
if
if we
I show
having a
you
conversation,
something right now that's hieroglyphics, will you be able to read it?
bro, listen, bro. We if we have a conversation, right? If I make a pause, right, and you asking me, people, it seems like it's a debate. It seems like you're trying to. If I say I could do something, then I can do it. So
That's not true.
that's a fact.
Just because somebody
That's
say they can do something, don't mean they can do it.
If I say I could do something, I could do it. So
Okay.
now, based upon the conversation that we having, I want to have a debate with you on everything we said, and then now I wanna
But why would
now
you want to
I
do
tell
something like that?
because the energy that I'm feeling from you is making me want to debate you. It's making me want to really expose your unawareness in these specific areas.
Look, everybody thinks they ready for a debate. I was having a conversation with you. I didn't know you even had
I'm ready for a
hostility and
debate.
animosity, no pressure,
Listen,
nothing like
no,
that.
no, a
I
debate is
was
not
talking to
hostility.
you, nigga. Even when we were joking, I thought niggas understood. Like, I ain't know
No,
you gonna get in
listen,
your feelings.
I'm
But
not in my.
everybody
Wait,
be
hold on.
feeling like they ready to do a debate. I'm
A
just gonna let you
debate.
know, all that exposing, all that. Listen,
What you mean? I will cook you in a
it's
debate.
not
I
gonna
will
happen
cook
how
you.
you think. You
I
didn't
will
cook
cook you.
just then. You didn't cook, so you weren't prepared to
I will
cook.
cook you.
And now you gonna tell me
I,
I'm gonna get all your stuff, and I ain't even have nothing. So I'm gonna get all
no,
my
you did.
stuff
You had
too.
a computer. You have a device.
But everybody, this is what it sounds like. You sound like they jumped me. It was just myself. I got up
who jumped
to
me?
look up escape velocity.
Who jumped me? I ain't say that.
That's what it
What I'm
sounds.
saying is we gonna
That's what it
debate. We
sounds
gonna
like.
no. I
You,
want to
it's
no.
not like you saying I had devices helping me, but I didn't. Everybody heard when I got up, and I even
No,
told you. I said,
it
"You want to know
sounds
why I
like
got up? Because you said
it
for the
sounds
sake of
like
the conversation, you weren't going to explain. Meaning for the sake of the audience, you weren't going to explain how G-force aligned with escape velocity."
because if you
And then you
because
start
once
rambling, and I got up and went to my computer and turned it
I
on.
didn't ramble. I didn't ramble. This is why I want to have a debate because you speak condescending, and that's okay. Now, if you ask somebody a question, right? If you ask somebody a question, they're gonna want proof. There's women right now. There's women right now documented that have lift um trees off their children
We
that they
already talked
wasn't.
about that.
Wait, hold on. But see, now you cutting me off, right? So now if you cutting me off, you're
Did you cut me
creating.
off in the beginning of the conversation? Yes or no? We already went over the cutting. Y'all only use cutting off when y'all getting y'all feelings. That's why I don't debate. But
You
we can
you
do it.
you keep saying y'all and y'all feel. Even how you talking, I'm not in no feelings,
What
brother.
did say?
Even when you talk about certain things, right? Even when you talk about certain things, and you shouldn't go left, and you shouldn't go from you shouldn't go from right to left or right to left. That's not how it goes. But go ahead. But anyway, listen.
What does it
When you
say?
when you shouldn't
Because
you
we
shouldn't go
have
from left.
it's in both.
You shouldn't go. You shouldn't go from. You
What
shouldn't
does
go
it
from.
say from left to right?
You shouldn't go from. You shouldn't go from right to left or right to left. It's actually supposed to be vertical. But listen,
What
check
does
it
it
out.
say?
It's supposed to be vertical. Now listen,
All right,
check it
what
out.
does it say? What does it say though? What okay.
It's supposed to be
Even if
vertical.
it's
Now
supposed to
look,
be
you're
vertical,
trying to
because
tell
pull
me.
up the all right,
You're
I
trying to
got you.
tell
I
me.
got you.
Yeah, thank you. Listen, check it out. You. We had a conversation, right? And I said, okay, when you say things and we talk, it goes to something else. So initially, I came on the live to talk about, yo, how do we use this information
What does it
to
say?
help out? How do you? How? Oh, you see? Oh, I'm glad you. I'm glad you got it that way. Now listen, how do we use this
Now that I
information?
have it this way, what does it say?
How do we? I'm glad you put it in the proper way. You don't tell me what to do, but listen, check it out.
I didn't tell you what to do. I'm just
Now
asking what does it say?
you're trying to passive aggressively tell me what to do. It just doesn't work. You'll have your time when we debate to realize that I'm a lot smarter than I let off. Now check it. Um,
I didn't
I
even show
came
you
on
the
a
whole
live.
phrase. You can't tell
No,
me
no,
what this one phrase said. What does that say?
but you see the difference. You see the difference in the vertical versus the horizontal. So I'm glad that you at least for the sake of proper proper format, you presented something that has an actual format, how it's supposed to be. Because the first thing that you put on, that's not even that's a remix. But listen, check it out, right? I came on the live and I talked about how do we apply mentalism, how do we apply the placebo effect, how do we apply alchemy to bettering our people. And then you said, you was like, yo, we laughed and we talked about Rocky and stuff like that. But I said, well, damn, Rocky inspired real people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now how do we now look with our people?
And we talked about that.
Listen, we good. Listen, hold on. And a debate does not mean for me something negative, or I
A
have
conversation like how we had don't mean negative to me.
I
You took it
never
however you
said
took it, but you only started taking it that way when I was asking you questions you ain't know the answer to.
you didn't ask me any question I didn't know. Every question you asked me I knew the answer to.
That's
But
not
how
true.
you but yes it was. But how you asked the
You just
question,
said, I asked you how
how you
fast does a bullet travel? And you said what? Off top? I don't know.
I said I don't know the precise speed off top. I didn't say I don't know. I said I don't know the precise speed off the top of my head.
So
That's what I said.
basically you said, I don't know, and some more shit. Then I asked you to
Yeah,
explain what G-force was, and I was like,
no,
what's
no.
G-force? And you're like, I don't know.
No, my first answer was I do know. But
You don't know,
again,
your first answer was, I don't know.
no, listen. I said I know. And then you did what you said something, and maybe I took it as I took it the wrong way. So I'm like, okay, is bro trying to make me seem like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about? So it's just gonna make me get a little defensive. And if I'm getting defensive, I'm gonna play stupid.
All right,
And
okay,
then
with all that to the side, what is G-force then? For, just to
listen,
substantiate that, what is G-force?
listen. Now if bro is telling me that, I'm gonna get defensive, and then when I'm defensive, I'm not
Are you
now I'm
defensive
now
right now? Okay.
yeah, I'm
I really
defensive.
don't detect anything negative in my tone that you could even like misconstrue right now. So all I'm asking right now is what is G-force?
No. We're gonna debate because now I want to debate.
But that means you're telling me you have to
I
go
want
and
to
look
debate.
up stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's what I meant. That means you
Yeah.
don't know. And that's fine.
No. No, it doesn't mean I don't know. It means that you ask a question, I answer the question, then you ask another question, and then it's
That's how
like this.
conversation
By me.
person. And you're saying the
See,
devices are intelligent for me, that the
see,
books are
when you do that,
intelligent for me. I went to go
so let me
get
ask you
this
a
book
question.
and
All
I
right, so let
went
me
to
ask you a question.
turn this computer on.
So let me ask you a
You
question.
see that? I turned
So
it
you
on.
saying
It
so you saying
it
wait,
wasn't
hold on.
something that how am I have that laying down in the living room floor when you call me? I
So
was
you
laying down in
saying
the living room or when you got on the live.
so you saying that I found I was talking to an intelligent person as if I assume you was unintelligent or I'm overestimating my own intelligence.
You
Just clear that.
underestimated mine.
I never, if I underestimated your intelligence, I wouldn't have got on the
You
live,
just
brother.
did because you said I needed devices and books. I
No,
have
you
one
you
book in
do.
front of me. Behold, feast your eyes. I
No.
got one book in front of
You
me
have
other than the Bible,
see
and we ain't
now
even crack that
now
open. And I got that
now
one book because you mentioned how I just
okay,
what's the coincidence of me having a book with hieroglyphs on it? And I use this
so
book cover to debate you with G-Force?
no, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Is there a vibrational connection to a book that you possess? Yes or no?
I don't know. Can you help me understand what that means when you say vibrational possession?
Okay. If I study,
Or connection. What does
and I
that mean, vibrational connection?
if I study, and I have books and I'm in my library and I'm in the room with my books, right? Do I have to open them books to get the knowledge from them books? Or is it enough of,
That's I get what you're asking. So then you don't
wait,
need
hold
the
on.
books right now.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. See what I'm saying? So now if I say what I'm saying and then you start laughing and I don't have all my notes put together, it's like I know my raps, but I also wrote my raps down. So
What you
if I wrote
saying
my
is like collapsing on itself.
no,
If I
it's
can
not.
read
No,
my
it's not.
books and they're a part of my essence and I have a vibrational connection with them, I don't need my books then, and you don't need yours. Let's keep talking.
Listen, no, you can't tell me what I need. You speak for yourself.
Then do you have a vibrational connection with
If
the
you
things you read?
if you have a it's like if I wrote a poem, right? If I wrote a 3,000 page poem, you're telling me to recite the poem off memory, and I'm like, yo, you know what? I just want to go get the book so I can read it word for word. So is there a difference there? There is. And based upon what we're talking about and the conversation we're having and the importance of this conversation for my audience, then I'm not going to just say, yeah, I'm going to recite my 3,000 page poem without having the 3,000 pages that I wrote in front of me.
Answering what is G-force is not a 3,000 page poem. That analogy
You can't
doesn't
tell
work.
me, no, it's not. It does work because I'm using an analogy. It does
You
work
need to memorize
because
3,000 pages to learn about G-force. It takes a few minutes.
you could say whatever you want. You're just making this ass whooping I'm gonna give you in this debate more worse, brother.
All right, so what we gonna
So
say about the ass whooping you just got? I love you, bro. Hey, look, I'll make the
I
flyer.
love you. Listen, bro. Listen, man. Listen, this is healthy. So let me give a disclaimer. I don't. The thing, my whole intention, right? And we talked several times, and I've told you, on the record and off the record that I fuck with you and I love you too, man. This ain't no. I don't feel no type of way. I just know that sometimes because of white supremacy, our people. It's like this. If I know I'm gonna have a conversation, right?
You there?
I can't just jump into the. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can't just jump into the conversation unprepared. So I like to answer. I like to answer things in code. So if a person says, "Yo, what's G-force?" I'm gonna go, "Yo, listen, man. You know about escape velocity?" And then if I ask you, "How does escape velocity connect with G-force?"
I asked you that.
No, listen. I told you that there's a connection between the two. So how could I not know what G-force is, but know what escape velocity is? Because the definition of escape velocity gives you the answer to what G-force is.
Okay, what
Right?
is
So
G-force?
so so wait, hold on. The answer to what escape velocity is, the speed that you have to travel to break the Earth's gravitational pull. Okay? That gives you the answer to what G-force is. So now
It
if
doesn't
if
give
I
you the answer to what G-force is. Okay.
what's
Well,
G-force?
then how
What
about
tell me,
this?
no. What's G-force? What's G-force?
If you can answer it, I'll answer
No. What's
it. And
G-force?
I'll answer it. Just let me know yes or no. Do you know?
Yes, I told you. We've been. What's G-force?
All right. So how are we gonna substantiate that you know? Because you've been saying you know, and you ain't
Yo,
substantiated it yet.
yo, yo.
You've been saying you know, and now we done got all the way back around to it, and you ask me what it is. What is it? Exactly. You want me to give him his answer? I give you your answer. When you ask me
I
about
want you to.
escape,
I,
when you ask
I
me about
want you.
escape velocity,
I just told you the answer. You was crazy.
you talked about
Listen, bro,
escape velocity. All right, all right, all
bro,
right, all
bro,
right. Well,
bro,
look.
bro,
All,
bro.
all, all chatter to the side. Look, okay. I'm about to ask. We're gonna go back to the question, and we're gonna do it a
Go
different
back.
way. And we're gonna look. We're gonna go back to the question. We're gonna do it a different way. Then we can go ahead and get prepared. You can go ahead and get prepared. I don't need it for tonight, right? We're gonna
Yep.
ask these questions, but we're gonna ask. Well, actually, we're gonna answer that one question back again
Yeah. What's G-force?
because it goes back to the fist and the bullet. Okay.
No.
Wait,
What's
wait, wait,
G-force?
wait, 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 wait. You can't say no. Wait, say you say ask me. I'm about to answer.
Yeah.
All right. According to science and what the scientists say who are physicists, why are human beings not able to
Oh, you
travel
going to
at the
that?
speed of light?
Okay. Okay. You going to that?
I went there. That's where we went. And then we went everywhere else. And you took us everywhere else. All I asked you was, what do the science you
Oh,
went because they're white supremacists. I'm like,
see.
You said they were
look,
white supremacists, and that's why they said that human beings aren't able to. Not
no,
black people. They said human beings aren't able to travel at the speed of light.
check it out, right?
Now I'm asking you. Hold on. We can do all of that. All I'm asking is, what is it that they say is the reason we can't?
That's a loaded question, because there's no one.
All right, give me one answer.
What do you mean?
You said it's loaded. Just give me like the potatoes of it.
The same reason, the same reason why we can't get to the bottom of the sea. The same reason.
All right, what's the reason we can't? Okay, when you say the same reason, last question I'm gonna ask you is, what's the reason we can't get to the bottom of the sea? To see if that lines up.
Because of the pressure. The pressure.
Oh, they're not. Oh, all right. So then you saying that scientists say
speed.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, no. Go ahead. Because you asking that you asking
what
the
does it
question,
have to?
right?
Okay, go ahead. Do your thing.
We can't get to the bottom of the sea because of the pressure.
The pressure of what?
So the water.
So we can't approach the speed of light because of the pressure of what?
Of gravity.
The pressure of gravity?
Yes. Yeah. That's my answer. My answer.
All right. Okay.
So now you just said now listen. Now look, you just said look,
pressure.
When you move in.
Go ahead, do your thing. I'm trying to figure this out.
You don't know gravity. You don't know gravity creates pressure. This is what I'm saying about this. So this is why I said you don't understand. If you don't know what escape velocity is, this is what. So we having a conversation like this, right? Let me ask you a question. If you put a human on top, are you listening?
Yep.
I'm gonna make it simple. If you put a human on the top of a spaceship, and you strap him to a spaceship, what's gonna happen to his body when that spaceship leaves Earth and gets to space?
I don't know.
He'll be crushed.
By what?
Gravity.
He's gonna be crushed by gravity.
So escape velocity. All right, look, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes, like, listen.
You just saying stuff. You know that, right?
No,
He's gonna be crushed by gravity.
No.
When you escape
velocity,
we already talked about
G-force.
Okay, there you go. G-force. Do the G-force.
Listen, no. Go ahead. Nah.
Do it. You said it. So explain how G-force. What G-force has to do with approaching the speed of light.
Listen, no, it's okay. Never mind. Go ahead.
That was the whole point. And now you're saying again, it's all right because you knew what escape velocity was. You didn't know what G-force was.
I did know what G-force was, and I do know what G-force was. That's why I mentioned escape velocity. When you move at a certain speed, you have to move at a certain speed. Okay, you have to move at a certain speed to break